How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Yes, we're gonna get back on the Infiniti. It's been a while. It's looking a little rough, but that's okay. So what we're gonna do is, first we're gonna wash it, but I'll tell you why we're gonna wash it in a minute. But the main thing we're gonna wash it for in all this is we're gonna start on the bodywork. I don't know if it's hard to see, but a little bit of rust, there's a scratch there, rust and some scratch there, paint's messed up, and then you got bodywork. There's chips and all that all over the back of this. Little dent right there. I mean, there's some body work on it. It ain't nothing major. A little bit of rust right here. Of course, paint is faded. Paint's all chipping off the bumper. You know, I mean, it ain't like over the top bad, but it is bad. And it also looks like, I was just looking at this the other day. You can see a big drip right there and all that. It looks like this was done really crappily painted. And then also, there's little itty bitty blemishes in the paint where it's starting to rust through. So, then I'm gonna remove this. I don't like that sun visor vent. Yeah, there's a dent right there. All right. Yeah, sun, it is smoking hot outside. This is supposed to be fall. Come on, adjust, there we go. This is supposed to be fall. It is smoking hot outside. It's like 80-some degrees today. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by washing it. We're not gonna wash it with my regular, you know, car wash soap, all that kind of stuff. We are going to wash it with regular dish soap like Dawn. Reason why I prefer to use regular dish soap when I'm getting ready to start body work is regular dish soap helps remove grease and grime and all that kind of stuff, and it has no waxes, none of that stuff in it, the chemicals, like a lot of this stuff. This is, you know, Rain-X, and it has some of the Rain-X additives in this, which help prevent water beading up on, helps prevent water from sticking, helps the water bead up, all that kind of stuff. So I prefer to wash it with regular dish soap. It helps cut everything that's on the car, any of the wax, the buildup, or anything like that that's on the car. It helps get rid of it. So we're gonna go ahead and start by washing the back of the car, well, basically the whole car, but mainly we're gonna concentrate on the back right now. Then tomorrow, when I get off work, on my way home, I'm going to stop by O'Reilly's and pick up some good body filler, some spot putty, and a couple little things like that. And then we're going to go ahead and disassemble the whole rear end, which taillights, the Infiniti, the Q45T that's on there, basically just take everything off the back of that thing. Yeah, there we go, getting dark again. So that way, it can make it easier to sand the back of this down, because we're gonna really go to town. We're going to remove the round effects off the bottom of this thing, that little lip that's right there, because it's black. We're gonna remove that, and it goes all the way around the car. For some reason, the front bumper one is painted green. Well, when we put it back on, we're gonna paint it black. So we're gonna basically start stripping this car down. I know that it's been a while since I got an Infiniti video out. Now, there's a lot of things that I want to do to this. Right now, yes, the transmission is messed up in it, but I still can drive the car. It only slips when I get on it. One of my subscribers, John Doe, said check out a few other things, and it might be, you know, that the actual ignition system is messing up, which is causing it to hesitate. Well, I took it out the other day. I didn't video it. I guess I should have. But it is definitely transmission slipping. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. First gear works really good, pulls hard. As soon as it shifts into second, it red lines and it just goes nowhere. So motor is working good. Spark plugs are all good and coil packs are all good. Transmission is just beyond right now. But I am going to do a lot of things over the winter time. So right now I'm just kind of doing a little bit of cosmetic to it and kind of doing some things that I want to it. And then over the winter time is when we're going to totally strip this car down to like nothing and do a lot of work to it and get it ready for next spring, summer, and hopefully get it into some races. Try to lighten it up and make it a little bit faster too. All right, well, let's go ahead and get this thing washed. Okay, so before we wash it, we are going to take all these letters off here and the infiniti off here. I'm not even stressed on keeping these, so we're just gonna just basically like that, just knock them off, and then as we're cleaning and sanding, we'll sand all this off. So this, not even stressed about. My one thing is I'm wondering how this trim piece comes off, because I don't know if this whole piece unbolts, this unbolts, I don't know. All right, let's finish this, getting these off, then we're gonna go ahead and give it a little wash. All right, well, the infiniti symbol is probably gonna have to go back on because there's two holes right there, and that's through plastic, so there is no real welding that, but that's okay. I'll put the infiniti symbol back on before I start sanding it. This will probably just peel out. It's like 3M taped on or something like that. Then I got to get these unbolted, which this is gonna suck because the lock mechanism's through there, but that's okay. Gotta get this cover off. All right, now let's wash it before we get sanding on the back half of this. All right, now remember, we're doing this in, I know it's kind of dark, it's just the way the sun is. We're doing this in just regular dish detergent because it helps cut through the grease and the grime better. I want to get this part done real soon because it's starting to get cold out. Happens to be warm right now, but that ain't lasting. All right. This thing is a little bit on the filthy side. Been sitting for a couple weeks. And tomorrow we're going to start on the body work on this, which will be getting a couple of these dents and all that tomorrow. I just placed an order through Amazon. Luckily they have Prime and next day shipping, and I have a distribution center 20 miles away, so I can have all the body filler and stuff like that here tomorrow to go ahead and start working on fixing the mess, the dents and the dings in this thing. Yeah, drop it on the floor. let me go ahead and finish the rest of this, and then we'll get it dried off, and we'll start the sanding and the back first and work our way forward, because the back is where most of the major work is. So I want to get the back done first. The front is just sanding it, little glazing putty over the imperfections, and start sanding, painting, all that. Back is all the bad stuff, dents, dings, paint's coming off of it, so the back's going to take a lot of work. So that's why we're going to start in the back. All right, catch you in a few minutes after I get this thing done, cleaned up. So it's the next day, or two later, whatever. O'Reilly's did not have the stuff that I wanted, so I went ahead and ordered it on Amazon. So I got some 3M glazing putty. I got me a sanding block, it's a Durablock. These are really good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start sanding on the back of this thing. And I'm gonna start with some of this area right in here. We're gonna kind of work our way around and see how it goes. I'm gonna start off with 80 grit sandpaper. I'm gonna use my, let's see, where's that? There it is. Use my Air DA sander and try to start knocking some of the loose paint body off of that, and then try to get it down to where it's actually attached. And then we'll go from there. I'm not a bodywork man, never have been, never claimed to be. So basically, we're just gonna wing this and hope for the best. I've got some better sandpaper right there for wet drying it, get it down to a lot smoother. But hey, right now, we're just gonna see how it goes. I've never been a good body man, but hey, we're gonna try. Oh yeah, a lot better. I mean, it's still rough because this is 80 grit, but it's knocking all this loose stuff off. I mean, you can see it's cleaning it up real nice. Like I said, it is rough, but it's making a good dent in that. So we're gonna go ahead, sand this all out. Probably try to get most of this rear end done, and then we'll pick the video back up after I get a lot of this rear end knocked out. Alright, well, we haven't made it to putting on the filler yet. I just wanted to show you something. So I went to, as I was sanding, I got a lot knocked off. I mean, I got, you know, a lot of sanding done, but then I went to go do right here, and there was just a lot of dust. So I took my air gun to blow all this off, and look at all the paint that just flaked off. It's really hard to see, but more paint is just flaking off as I blow this. That's wonderful. So I mean, that just like says the paint didn't stick to this. Basically, that's the spoiler that's on the back of this. So I'm gonna have to like really sand that whole spoiler down, get the paint off the whole thing completely, because it's just flaking off like nothing. Well, oh well, that's just more work. Ain't no big deal. I got a decent sized roll of 80 grit sandpaper, so I guess we're just gonna go ahead and, God, it sucks. I guess we're just gonna go ahead and start completely sanding down this spoiler, and then we'll go from there. Alright, get back to you in a minute. Alright, before we go any farther, which I've done got a lot, I mean this almost the whole top is done. Before I go any farther, we're gonna go ahead and pop the tail lights out, and we'll see if I can get the third brake light out. Basically try to disassemble the trunk lid and get all this stuff off. Well, at least this might be easy to get the taillights out, but the third brake light might be a little bit of a chore. Okay, well, just got the panel off. It's right there. And they were just a whole bunch of these little kind of clippy things. You know, Phillips screwdriver, undo them, they pull right out. Then I started to take the taillight off, and then I realized, I was like, there's a bolt there, bolt here, bolt there, there's a big nut there, and this one's missing. But I think if I take all those off, I think the wing comes right off. I think this one is just bolted on. If it is, that is going to make a world of difference. That's going to make it so much easier. We're still going to take the taillights out because I want to sand all of this down too, and that's going to make it easier getting in here, plus painting it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to try to remove the wing first. Hopefully that does unbolt. From what I was looking at it in there, it unbolts. So if it does, let's get that off, and then we'll get the taillights undone, and hopefully make the back end a lot easier to sand down and get painted up. All right, well, I got all the bolts off, I think. Oh yeah, it's coming loose. Oh yeah. See over here? I already got it loose. This is a good thing because there's water coming out from underneath this. So get this thing to just come off. Hopefully. There are clips underneath this thing, so it's like kind of not sure how to get these clips off. Alright, damn, that is dirty. Alright, I have to check. I think it might be, because this side just is not lifting up. Did I miss anything in here? I don't know. We'll have to get in here and look. Okay. The way the light is here right now, it is horrible from the camera. But we got the spoiler, wing, whatever you want to call it, off. I'm just removing the light real quick. Then I will show you. I'll tell you, I'm glad I took this off because it's bad. There's that. Alright. I mean, you can see how dirty this is. This thing is really bad. So, yeah, now I'm going to have to rewash it. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to, it's got this rubber on it right here, or the foam. We're going to go ahead and take all of that off, redo all of this stuff when I put it back on, so it's a little bit softer. But yeah, we got to get this all cleaned up first before we go on. And I'm going to have to order some more of these clips right here, because, well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 clips. And then, where in the heck did I just put it? Oh, there it is. So you got these that are actually bonded on, and this one was broke off. Ain't no big deal. That's easily, you know, some kind of, like, you know, JB weld, something like that. Clean that up, get that stuck back on. Not a big deal. Alright, well, let's continue on. Next we're going to get these taillights out, and then I guess we're going to have to go ahead and like completely rewash the back of this car and get it cleaned up, because I mean there's just junk. Alright, now let's get the taillights out.